guys, welcome back to MK Sportscars. It's back in the workshop time, the sun is shining. I've been on holiday, got a tiny little tan, and that's about it. But I'm pleased to be back because why? We're working on cars again. This one is one of the cars, has had Jim's car. So it's an RX5. If you've been following us, you would have seen it's an RX5 with a booster engine. So it's Mazda running gear. We've got the uprights off at the moment, so we're just doing some little bits on this and setting it all up. We've got the wheelwood calipers on, and we put the spacers on because we need them with the wheels that we're doing with the offset. So the longer studs are going in, that's why they're out. Longer studs going in. Quite a bit's changed on this car. The main change is probably from what you see last time, it's hard to see, is all the bodywork has gone on. Now I could talk for all of that, but I think we've got quite a bit of B-roll that Lewis is going to punch up there for you, showing the side panel fitment. Now all the new bodywork fits so much easier, so much quicker. It's all got the moulded insides. Rear arches, you can't bolt them anywhere else, guys, other than the location round there. They're self-aligning in every way, shape or form. All the interior has gone in, the exhaust system's gone on now. It's got under here little protective cover. You've got the carbon silencer, which looks rather swish. The roll cage has gone on. The interior, this is one of the earlier tunnel tops. We don't really use these so much anymore. We more do the fabricated top, which I think we're going to do anyway for this customer. It's going to make something, because it's got the central gear lever position here. We used to do the fiberglass tops and that here, and we'd say we'll change that cover. We'll probably put the carbon one over the top here to make it all look nice. It also adds a bit of the comfort when you're driving. Seats and harnesses are in, because otherwise you're putting the handbrakes around on. So we can get a custom one made for that. It's got all the really nice freewheel with the indicators on here. 4-position, you've got high beam horn. We've got to label these up for IVA, which will get done. A nice little DD2 dash and all the billet aluminium black switches, which is really cool. And a quick release steering wheel boss. And on there, don't forget, when you're doing it, you need a collapsible section when you're doing a quick release boss as well. Unless you've got a collapsible steering column at the top, which some of them did. I'm going to get that one in a second. Fiddle around with that in a minute. Putting that on there, so all of this is working. The engine is running. Got a little bit tidying up with the wiring, but a few other little jobs to do, which is what Joseph is on with now, which is like geo, it's got to be done, corner weighting, ride heights, all the other bits, checking off the list for IVA, mapping for IVA. It's got to have a catalytic converter put into it as well. But yeah, all little jobs to tidy up and do on this car. But black on black, which we've done one recently with gold wheels. You can do anything with this now. It's a blank canvas. When you do black or white cars, you can literally go blue, red, white, silver, carbon, gold. Any stripe pretty much will fit with this car, and it's going to look super stealthy. So yeah, let's move on. What's next? What we got next? Not an MK, got a Westfield. Got a little Westfield in. This had a Vauxhall engine in it. It's 2 litre, well, Opal engine if you want to call it, whichever way you want to call it. 2 litre, they call them red tops, silver tops, all kinds of tops. That were mated to a Ford gearbox, which was a Type 9 with an adapter bell housing, which was a common thing done. The engines were really strong. What's it in for, you're thinking? It's got throttle bodies all tucked away here. It had clutch slip. So a bit on the dyno, making good power, well north of 200, I think it's 220, 230 horsepower, making good torque, as most of them did. Engine is here, it's out, we've pulled that. We found the problem with the clutch, which is something normally bolts in there. It's snapped off, clean off. These ones are bent already. This one, as you can see, here we go. That's what the problem was. 3 of them bent and snapped, and 2 of them were bent. So it was obviously making power. It wasn't so much a friction plate. It wasn't worn out too much. I mean, there's still a bit of meat on it, but that'll all getting changed. That's what was causing the problem. And we're sourcing a new one for that, heavy duty one, especially the clutch plate. Cover plate there, the source of heavy duty one for that, new clutch release bearing, and the customer's contact us also clean this up. We're probably going to change the clutch slave while we're in there as well. It is somewhere in the region of 14, I think 15 years old plus, so I get it. You know, if you're in there, you don't want to be taking all out again. It's kind of a serviceable item once you're out. for the cost that's in there to take it all out again, so we'll probably do the clutch save as well. It's got good power, decent power. It's 200 more horsepower, loads of torque. Lovely bit of kit actually, really nice bit of kit. I think he uses it track and road, customer does as well, and pretty easy to get in and out, which is nice. You can get leaving the gearbox in there, which saves a bit of time taking it out and the oil, everything else, so we'll be able to put all that back in. So next job is just waiting on parts now, unfortunately. Pretty hard. We reached out to, I'll be honest, we reached out to SBD on this. Really good guys. Craig and his team do a great job to source the clutch for us. So they're quite hard. They're very specialised engine now. You know, parts for these are getting harder to find, a bit like some of the other stuff, and a lot of it's been reverse engineered now. So yeah, I love these. I had years ago we had one of these. They make good power, well north of 200. I think there were these Coscos heads and them and stuff like that on them as well, which people I've seen stupid horsepower when they've turbocharged these engines. With the old Calibre turbos, oh, that's a hard back. Used to make big power, and then Vauxhall Novas used to put big power Vauxhalls in. So yeah, she's a good old girl. Okay, next, what's next landed? We have this. It's an RX5, a build we're going to be finish off for the customer here. It's a freshish build, and quite a bit to do. Wiring, getting it all running, lots of other little component parts to do with it all. Everything else. It's got the Motorsport Electronics ECU and our loom and everything else on it, so it's a proven solution. We know it all works. It's done a bit of detailing on here, which is quite nice. With the green all tying in the engine bay and on the wing stays and on the seat runners actually. First time I've seen that. Look at that. Painted seat, well, powder coated seat runners as well. Look a bit swish with the padded seats in there and roll cage, but yeah, lots to do, but got a nice carbon silencer, cat link pipe on it. Can't see any problems. Pro Race 1.2 wheels in the grey. I don't know if it's having a stripe. I'd imagine it's probably going to have a green stripe. What do you reckon? It's going to match it up. So this little build, we just got to finish it off really. It's not a huge, there's a bit to do. There always is when you're going to go there. We've got the lights have been fitted, there's some bits in the back end we've got to tidy up. The fuel cap's sort of in here, sort of temporarily fitted in here. So whether that's got to go in the back panel or whether the customer wants it fitted under here. But normally it fits in the back panel here. LED number plate lights and all of that's got to be, fog lights got to be fitted to it as well. But most of the other come out, and then obviously it's your basic stuff like tunnel interior, dashboard, scuttles, fitment, body work, all got to be fitted, brake bleeding, you know, testing, headlights, all of those little components. But it's bread and butter for us, that is, but it's bread and butter for you guys who are building at home in the garage as well. It's pretty simple stuff, basic tools, and you can crack on with one of these and build a, well, if you'd seen before, we've done a little test drive video on an MX5, take it apart and build one of these and just get a performance upgrade instantly. Right, if you're interested in a kit, then you know what to do. Contact us, phone us, come down and see us at the factory, or see us at one of the shows, we don't mind. But you think, oh, not quite got the skills, I want instant gratification, I want a car. Don't forget guys, we've got a few cars in at the moment for sale, actually. We've got a Cup car here, Cup 200 car, high booster power, that's for sale. We've got an S2000 car in, that's for sale. We've also got a K20 car in, that's also for sale. And we've got a DAX Rush in as well, that's got a Hayabusa engine in, very clean car that is actually as well. And I do believe we can put you in customer contact with this particular one, this blue Westfield that's here. It's a V8, 3.5 Rover V8 in it, that we can put you in touch with the customer. That one's for sale as well. And then what will be coming up, we have got a for sale video, is an R1 RX5 MC, so it's a Mazda based kit with an R1 engine. That's just got to go through IV8 and that's going to be out for sale shortly. So if you're interested in any of those, perhaps Lewis will post up a link to the, well, without this Wednesday, the video of what's for sale. And if you want more information on those cars, you know what to do guys, just come down and see its factory or pick up the phone, phone us an email and we can talk you through the cars. next up here is hashtag Richar, and car we're building, finishing off building for him, getting it through the process ready for IVA. Lots going on, pretty much finishing the build off, every electrical works, the car runs. So we got it down on the ground. First procedure we want to do is obviously make sure we've got drive. We didn't install the engine and gearbox on this, the customer did. We had a little issue, which was the clutch. We couldn't get a clutch. Done all the normal basic tests to make sure you got throw, make sure the clutch slaves are okay, make sure the clutch master is okay, all of those things. It turns out, unfortunately, we had to take it out. The engine had to come out quickly, which we've done in a couple of hours and back in again. Another hour or so just to get it all back in again plumbed. It turns out that the clutch plate, the bolts weren't done up tight. So as you're pressing the clutch, it was actually moving away. So we wonder why we could only get a very partial clutch, and that was the reason behind it. So, or my advice to you guys is, if you're doing this at home, is torque the bolts down. If you're going to torque them down, make sure you know you've torqued them down, and maybe pen mark them as well, or paint pen mark them. Really good idea, so you know what you've done as a part of the routine. It's very difficult with these builds, because sometimes if you're learning or you're doing stuff at home in the same process, my advice is complete the task. If you can't complete the task, you go away. I've done it myself. I've made these Emmas a few times over the years. When I used to build 10 years ago, I used to go away. Oh, the wife calls you for dinner. Oh, you go inside and you come back out and you forget exactly where you was. So I know it happens, and silly little mistakes can happen like that all the time. So if you can, when you're doing your tasks, set yourself the tasks for the evening, get your tasks done, complete those, and then maybe move on to the next few lists, rather than machine gun firing, I say, round when you're doing your build. So it is simple advice, and I know that, and you're probably thinking, Sean, you're teaching me to suck eggs. I know exactly what I'm doing. You're probably right, guys, but it was just a little bit of advice, so it stops little things like that happening, potential failures in the future, which is, it's a niggle. It's not a big deal. It's a niggle. You know, it's metal, it's wires, it's, you know, it's an engine. It's not the end of the world to get these out. You can take them out, same as we showed you on the Westfield. You can take these out, drop the engine out, and leave the gearbox in situ, which saves a bit more time and a bit more hassle doing it all, and you can bolt it all back. So yeah, Peter and Adrian jumped on that today, got it all back together, and pretty much now it's just a fuel line and a few other little bits, and she'll be back up and firing. And we've definitely got clutch. We've tested it all now, so we know it's all operational. But next thing, no, but yeah, this is pretty much done and going to be ready for IVA now. So a few little tidy up bits, which is why we were going to road test, get the road test done, do the emissions, because it's got a nice set of throttle bodies on this. So we've got to get it on the laptop, get these sort of dialed in as best we can. We're not on a rolling road. This is not about performance. It's about making it nice and drive smooth, and making sure it meets the emission standards, and doing it on there. If you want to get the really maximum horsepower, you know where to go. Take it to a rolling road, and the guys there can do way more better than what we can do on the laptop, just driving around here. It's not the best option for mapping, in my opinion, but it's safer in that enclosed environment, and that's what they were built for. So yeah, plenty of people out there. We always use Richar RLM. He does a fantastic job from us. So big shout out to them too. If you want your car or your bike engine dyno, tap up Richar RLM. They always do a great job. Okay guys, well, if you want to know more information about any of the builds that we've got going on, or the models in our range, then hook us up on a phone call, email, or if you're feeling frisky, type a comment down in below there and we'll happily reply to you. Or if you want to know more information about the cars we've currently got for sale, best thing to do is head on down here, come and have a jump in the car, have a look, have a touch, have a feel, see what they're all about. You will be blown away by the performance of these cars. If you especially want to go racing, Cup 200 racing, Snetterton the other week was off the chart. It was amazing. Great bit of time. Next time out, we've got Alton Park coming up in September. At the same time as Alton Park weekend, we've got the Newark Kit Car Show also coming up in September. Looking forward to that. But before that, Brighton Park. So if you want to come down to Brighton Park, which I think is September the 1st, it's Sunday the 1st, and there is still only a few spaces available for that. So Brighton Park Track Day, if you think, I want to get my car on track for the very first time, it's a great place to start. We've done it for the last, I don't know, 5-6 years now, doing this particular event. Always a sellout generally. Great place, great people, great cars, get out on track. But we'll be bringing a couple of these bad boys. So if you want to come out and you think, I'm interested in these cars, you want to jump in a car here with us and get a few hot laps, you can. That's it for this week, guys. Now I'm going to leave you alone and say like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you next week.